right, good morning. This beautiful Saturday morning, wonderful Nigerians, wonderful people out there, business and career people out there, and Nigerians in general. I come your way this morning and I say a happy new month to you. It's the first day of a new month and the first day of the second half of the year. It's the middle of the journey for every one of us, as individuals, as organizations, as a nation. 6 months gone, and we are having 6 months to go for the year. So I want to welcome you to the second half of the year. And I know a lot of things are going through our minds right now. People are beginning to take stock. People are beginning to account what they've been able to do during the course of the first half of the year, finding out if they've achieved much. Well, I want to say this: you may have achieved much. I'll say congratulations to you if you have. If you've not achieved all you intend to achieve by the 6 months of the year, I want to say to you that there is hope. As long as there's life, there's hope. Don't compare yourself with someone else. Don't look at someone and say, oh, this person I know has built a house, has bought cars within the course of 6 months this year, but I have not done anything. Well, you need to realize that you have life. And the scripture says, let everything that has breath praise God. Okay? You have life, you have everything. When you have life, you can have everything. But if you don't have life, you don't have anything. Okay? So I want to encourage us before we start this morning to have faith. Have faith in God. Have faith in yourself. Have faith that more opportunities will come in the next half of the year. Have faith that what did not work in this first half of the year will work in the second half of the year. And don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep pressing. Keep working on your goals. If you feel the goals are not reachable, you may need to go back and re-strategize and replan the remaining half of the year so that the things that you couldn't achieve the first half, you'll be able to achieve them this second half of the year. Very important, very important. So it's time to begin to replan, begin to re-strategize so that you can achieve better results. Whether you've achieved results before this time in the year or you've not, you still need to plan and re-strategize. Okay, so to help us in that direction this morning, we're going to continue from where we stopped last week, where we started looking at what I said I call, actually it's a book. I have a book on this subject, and it's a very important subject to me because it's one thing that I know a lot of people face today. A lot of people have this problem of skills. Okay, we're looking at the subject of get skilled or get killed. And I told you that in the world we are living in today, if you are not skilled, you could get yourself killed. You could get yourself killed by poverty. You could get yourself killed by unemployment. You could get yourself killed by just name it, the circumstances and even the economy. The people, I was talking with someone during the course of the week when we're talking about the way price of things are rising and all of that. And I said to the person, I said, the truth is this: it is those who are not selling anything that will suffer this economy the most. Those who are not selling anything. Selling anything, I mean either products or services, okay? They are the ones that suffer the most. Those who sell things, what they do is that they add the extra, they calculate the extra amount and add it. For instance, if a tailor buys more fuel, spends more on fuel, spends more on rent, what he does at the end of the day is that he calculates it and adds to whoever is coming to sew. And they are the ones that pay. So it is those who are on the consuming end that will suffer in this economy the most. Those who are on the producing end, those who are providing products, those who are providing services will not suffer as much as the others would suffer. Okay, so that's why it's important for you to begin to develop products, develop services. And one way to develop services is to develop skills. Okay, is to develop skills. It is with skills that you serve people. It is with skills that you provide service to people. Either you are working for them as an employee, or you want to do your own freelance thing, you want to have your own service company or whatever, to be able to provide services to people, whether as a technician, as an IT person, as a fashion designer, as a makeup artist, you need what we call skills. And I said if you don't have those skills, you could get killed. All right, that's what we're looking at. Get skilled or get killed. And I don't want you to get yourself killed. That is why I want you to skill up, okay? And even if you've learned skills already, you say I have skills, there's always gaps that you can fill. So I hope that as you listen to today's episode, you'll be able to pick one or two things that can help you discover and maximize your skills. Because in skills, we're looking at discovery. Many people have not discovered theirs. And even those that have discovered theirs, they've not discovered all of it. Okay? They've not discovered all of it. So look at discovery. Then the next phase in skills, in getting skilled, is skills development. When you discover the potential, say, okay, I have potential for this thing, you now begin to ask yourself questions like, what can I do to develop this thing? Because you don't take crude oil to the market and make the same money you make as those who sell refined oil. Like Nigeria, for instance, has crude oil. That's why it's called crude. Many people, what they have is just crude skills. All right, they've discovered they could do something, but they've not improved it to be able to deliver result at expertise level, at professional level. So what happens is that they get short-changed, okay, in the marketplace. But for you to receive premium price, you need to be able to develop your skills to premium skills, okay? You need to be able to fine-tune your skills, make your skills better, okay? So that's the second phase, development. Then after development, you now deliver it, you now deploy it in the marketplace. You now package it and sell it in the marketplace, okay? All of these are put together in a book that I titled Get Skilled or Get Killed. If you're interested in the book, you can contact me after today's broadcast. I'll give you the number to contact me so that you can get a copy of that book, because it's not everything I can cover here, but you can read the book and learn a lot. And a lot of persons are reaching out to me from the program saying, oh, I would like to learn this skill, I would like to learn that skill. Well, if you're interested in learning skills, you can let me know, especially leadership skill, business skills. If you want to go into business, you want to learn business skill, you want to learn digital skills, web design, graphic design, Microsoft Office, data analytics, and all of that, you can reach out to me to help you. But for today, I want to share with you some points that can help you discover your skills, okay? How you can begin to discover your skills. You know, sometimes we don't bother about discovery, especially our schooling system also does not help. Abroad, when you go to school, from when you are born, they are able to help you discover. They have tools, they have systems that they put in place to be able to discover your strengths. So you discover that from childhood, they discover that this child is a sports person. They begin to train the child from a childhood to become a sportsman or a sportswoman. And you notice that at age 18, they are already breaking world records because they discovered them early enough. But over here in this part of the world, we actually don't do that. Our parents don't do that. Even our schools don't do that. Even when you go to school, they give you a course that does not even fit anything related to you. All right, they just give you a course and say that's what is available, and you have no choice than to take it, because you know if you don't take that course, you feel the pain. You spend another year at home not having admission, okay? So what people do most times is that they study a course that is not relevant to where they are going to in life, okay? Many of us study courses that we never planned to study. We're just giving those courses, and those things are creating big problem for the economy. It's creating big problem in the case of what's it called, unemployment. Because in the place of employment, people employ you based on your skills. So if you go learn something that is not relevant to you, that does not fit into your personality, it will backfire in the workplace, and you will not be able to retain your job or even get a job in the first place, okay? So Those are things that you need to understand. Those are things that you need to understand. You need to find out, how do I discover my skills? How do I discover my abilities? Because every one of us are born with abilities. And parents, please listen to me. If you discover that you are struggling to help your kids discover their abilities, you need to listen to me, because every child have abilities. But the problem is that we are blinded. We don't see those abilities. We don't see them. We are so blinded in rearing children. Like I said in the last episode, I said don't rear children, raise children. Raising children is not just all about giving them food, paying their school fees. You should be able to discover their abilities and begin to help them develop those abilities. And that's what education is. Education is from the Latin word educo, where the word edifice came from. And it means to edify. To edify means to build up something from base, from scratch. So you need to be able to discover these potentials in yourself and in those around you, and help them begin to build it. And that's one thing I'm grateful to God for over the years. It's one ability God has given me, to be able to help people discover their potential, discover their abilities. And every time I hear their testimonies, it amazes me. I'm just wowed. Okay, like on Saturday, one of my young mentees came. He came around from Abuja. He's actually in Kefi here. He came around and came to see me. And when he came to see me, he said, "Sir, I want to show you my car I just bought." I was like, "Wow, really?" And he took me to show me his Lexus. He just bought a Lexus Jeep that he just bought. He said he bought it, I think, 2 days before Salah. And he came to celebrate Salah with his family in Kefi and showed me the Jeep. He got married last year, and I was amazed. All because he was able to discover his abilities, okay? He was able to discover his abilities, his potentials. And what did he discover? He actually attended one of our business program called Business Masterclass. So we started talking about digital skills. We talked about digital economy in that particular masterclass about 3-4 years ago. And he attended that before the lockdown, before the pandemic. He attended that program. And after that, he started following me. I taught him some basic things he needed to know. Then went for youth service, continued learning on that skill over there. And today, he has mastered it so much. He told me, he said, "Sir," he said, "do you know I have 5 staff working with me in Abuja right now?" I was wowed. I was like, "Wow, you've made so much progress." Okay. I told him, he told me also, he said, "Sir, do you know that my e-commerce business has grown now that I sell to 5 African countries?" I was like, wow, awesome. This is someone that graduated some years ago, okay? He has been able to develop himself. He has never gone to do a job one day apart from NYC. He has never taken a job one day. But he has discovered what is inside him, what he can do, what he's passionate about, and he has focused on it, zeroing on it, and making millions from me today within a short period of time. Within a short period of time. This is what can happen to anybody. I've seen it happen again and again to young people who I mentor. I see it happen again and again, and I know this can happen to just anybody. Sometimes the things we suffer are not necessary. We need to understand that, because sometimes some people believe that because I'm from a poor home, that's why I'm suffering. That's not why you're suffering. The reason you are suffering is ignorance. You are ignorant of your capacity, of your potentiality, of your abilities, okay? This young man I'm talking about, he's from a very poor home, very poor background, all right? Very poor home. He said when he was in school, the way he used to make money was to go to town and wash cars. He would go to any of these car wash, wear a face cap to cover his face, and wash cars to just earn some little monies. But look at his life has changed. From washing cars, he's now buying cars. That is what can happen when you discover your abilities. And my prayer to you, that even as this second half of the month is starting, you discover something about you that will change your life. You discover your abilities that will change your life forever. It reminds me of the scripture. I keep quoting that scripture because it's very powerful. And we need to learn from it, especially religious people, Christians, and whatever religion we may belong to. We need to learn from it. Religion is not an excuse for poverty. Religion is not an excuse for mediocrity. Religion is not an excuse. As religious people, we are supposed to be examples to the world. We are supposed to be examples that the world follow, that those who are not religious, who don't know God, should look at and say, I want to be like this person because of the results this person is getting. And how does it begin? It begins from discovering what is inside you. You need to learn to discover what is inside you. Your wealth is inside. Your millions, they are all inside you. The house you're going to build is inside. The cars you are going to ride, they are all inside you. Honestly, they are not anywhere else. Like I usually tell people when I talk about this, I say, what thing you define for Sokoto, it dey for inside your Sokoto, your Shokoto. Shokoto means trouser in Yoruba. Shokoto means trouser. All right, that's what the Yoruba call trouser. So what you are looking for in Sokoto is inside your Shokoto. There are some people that believe that they have to travel abroad to make it. No. Before you travel abroad, travel inboard. All right? Inboard means travel inside you. If you don't travel inboard before you travel abroad, you may come back from abroad. You may come back from abroad with tears. You may come back with tears. Okay? I saw a story online, that was yesterday, of a very old man who came back to his community after 50 years with just a walking stick. And they said he traveled some years ago, about 30 years ago from his community, or about 50 years ago from his community, because he was in search of greener pasture. But he came back with just walking stick. That means he couldn't find the greener pasture. If you can't find the greener pasture in yourself, you can't even know it when you see it outside. That's the truth. If you cannot see greener pasture within yourself, you can't see it even if you find it abroad. And that's why many people go abroad today and are suffering because they've not discovered themselves. So quickly, to help you discover yourself, I want to quickly give you some pointers, 5 pointers that you should be looking out for when you want to discover your potentials, your abilities, or the abilities of your children or those you mentor. Number 1 is that you need to do strength assessments. Assess your strengths. All right? Because to be great in life, you work with your strength, not your weakness. But what people try to do sometimes is that they try to work on their weakness. No. Before you work on your weakness, discover your strength first. Strengthen your strength before you try to strengthen your weakness. Okay? So work on your strength. Do strength assessment. How do you do that? Make a list of your achievements, of your accomplishments, of moments when you felt proud of yourself. What were those times that you felt very proud of yourself? That you did things that you were proud of yourself. You achieved things. You accomplished some things that at the end of the day you were so proud. You went to bed happy. You went to bed excited. What were those things? Make a list of them. Make a list of them. Because sometimes some of us are carried away. We're carried away with jobs. We're carried away with marriage. We're carried away with relationship and all of that. There are some people, because of the fact that they got married, they forgot who they are. Because of the fact that they got married, they forgot their potentials. And it's not supposed to be so. Marriage is not supposed to kill your potentials. Marriage is supposed to amplify your potentials. So even if you're a married person that have gone to throw away your potentials, it's time to wake it up. And I said the first thing to do strength assessment. Assess your strengths. Write out from when you were a child till now. What were those things that you did that you were proud of? For me, I'm a very creative person. I love to create, to design, to draw. It's something that's been part of me right from time. And even to date, it's still part of me. Every now and then, even though I'm very busy, I see people give me some jobs to say, okay, do this design for me, do that design. It's something that I know is a strength for me. And how did I know that? From childhood. When I was in primary school, I think primary 3 thereabouts, myself and my elder brother were asked to draw fish in the house. Our elder, some uncles and all of that around came and said we should draw. He's older than me with almost 10 years. But I can never forget that experience. We drew, and I discovered that they said my own drawing was finer than his. Do you understand? Was finer. And I took note of that. That even though I'm young, I was able to draw. Do you know why I was able to draw more than him? Because that gift was inside. He has his own gifts. All right? He has his own gifts. And thank God he knows it. He knows his own gifts. But I discovered that that is a strength I have. You as a person, what are those things that has helped you win? What are those things that you have discovered that are strengths in you? For some people, it could be talking. They can talk to people and people listen to them. People understand them. For some, it's explaining concepts, it's teaching like I do. I have a strength for teaching. I have a strength for working with people. Okay, so what is that strength for you? That's the first thing you need to list out. Then the next thing you need to find out is your passion. Explore your passion. Okay, consider the activities or topics that bring joy and excitement and a sense of fulfillment to you. What are those things? What are those things you are passionate about? What are those things that you can do without even eating? That you can do and forget that you have not even slept for 3 days. What are those things that you are passionate about? That is another way to discover your abilities, to discover your skills, to discover your potentials. What are the things you are passionate about that you cannot do without? That even if they pay you so much and you leave that thing, you feel like you are sick. There are some of us like that. That's why we had to resign. For instance, I worked with my state government for 7 years. I had to resign because what I was asked to do was not in line with my passion. And every day going to work was struggle for me. It was not in line with my passion. I was not given the opportunity to express myself, to be creative. I couldn't express myself, and I had no choice than to quit the job and focus on my passion. I began to look for ways that my passion can turn to profit. So I began to turn my passion to profit. I'm going to talk about that some other time. But even if I'm not able to talk about it, I told you I have a book titled Get Killed or Get Killed. All of that I explain how you can begin to do all of that, how you can begin to turn your passion to a profit. Because that's another problem many people have. They are passionate about things, but they are not making money from it. If you are passionate about something, you're not making money from it, there's a way to go about it. Okay? Then the third thing you need to do, get feedback. Collect feedback from people, from friends, from families, and sometimes even from your foes. That means your enemies. Listen to what they are saying about you. Okay? I remember the encounter Jesus had with his disciples, and he asked them, he said, "Who do men say that I am?" He wanted to get feedback. He wanted to hear what people were saying. And many times when you listen to what people are saying, don't take what they say hook, line, and sinker, because sometimes people don't really know you. But the reason you are getting that feedback is to match it with what you already know about yourself. And when you discover what they are saying about is what is part of what you already know about yourself, it forms a confirmation. It goes to confirm. You now say, "Oh, I see." It really confirms what they are saying. Okay? It really confirms what they are saying. So when you ask people for feedback, listen to what they have to say and see if it confirms what you already have, what you already know inside. Is that okay? Then the next is journaling. Learn to journal, learn to write. I remember years ago in school, after school, I went for youth service. After youth service, I was starting life afresh at another stage. So what I did, I usually have a diary I use every year. So at the back of that diary, I wrote some of my accomplishments, some of the things I've achieved growing up, before school, in school, and all of that. And I was in Lagos. I was working with one of my mentors in Lagos. And there's a friend I came in contact with. We became friends. And I noticed one day, I went to his house. When I went out, before I came back, he had opened my diary and read the things I wrote at the back. When I came back, he asked me a question. He said, "That diary, who owns it?" I said, "It's for me." He said, "The things you wrote there, those things that were written, who did them?" I said, "I did them." He said, "You mean all those accomplishments you did before you finished youth service?" I said, "Yes, sir. Those are the things that I did. I wrote them out because I want to challenge myself and set the next phase of my life." And he said to me, he said, "Wow." And guess what? From that day henceforth, we became very close. We were just acquaintances before. We became very close. And we've been friends over the years. And the friendship has been very profitable. So sometimes you learn to journal. Learn to write those accomplishments. And not just for yourself alone, for others, so that they can know your abilities and what you can do. And the fifth thing we can take for today is value assessment. Whatever you are doing must align with your values. For instance, you are having a passion to do something, but your heart fights it. Your heart feels this thing is not right. This thing is not moral. It contradicts your core values. Maybe your value as a Christian or your value as a Muslim. It contradicts it. And every time you do it, even though you are passionate about it, your value fights against it. You need to take note of that. It may mean that you may need to do some tweaking, some adjustments, so that you'll be able to use it properly. Or it might mean that you might change the context, the environment in which you are using that skill, so that you can use it in line with your core value. So these are the 5 ways that you can use to begin to explore, to discover your God-given abilities, your talents, your skills, your potentials that are within you. Okay? Fortunately or unfortunately, that is about how much we can take in today's broadcast. It's just a 30 minutes program, and we are almost there. We're almost there, 30 minutes. Okay, the program is open for sponsorship, and if you want to sponsor this program on radio, please feel free to contact me. We'll let your brand or your business name known to the world. And I'm glad to say that we have a sponsor for today's episode. We have a sponsor. Someone has come up, a company has come up to begin to support this program, and that company is Onafang Global Services Limited. Onafang Global Service Limited, they are into savings and loans. Okay, they do all manner of savings, different types of savings. They also give loans to individuals and business people. Okay, if you are interested in contacting them, reach out to me and I'll give you their contact. They are based in Nasarawa State, Kefi, Nasarawa State, and they can also work with you from any locations you are in the world. Okay, so if you are interested in them, reach out to me and I will give you access to them. And next week I'm going to be inviting the MDCO of that company. He will be here next week and to share with us some things you need to know about money, how to manage your money, how to make more money. He will be here on the show next week. Okay, before we go, I'll give you my number. Those who don't have my number, the number to call after this program is 080 9867 5198. Please don't call now. You can call after the program. Okay, 0809867 5198. And please don't flash. Also, don't just send message and say hello. Introduce yourself and say the reason why you are sending the message, because we get a lot of messages. It will help us to respond to you faster. Just introduce yourself. My name is this, from here, from this, and this is why I'm sending a message to you. So you can call, you can send SMS, you can send WhatsApp message to that number. Okay, the number is 080 9867 5198. For those watching online on Facebook, you can state your comment. You can write in a comment what your questions are or what you would like to tell me about, or you can send me a DM and I'll be available to attend to it. I'm Ohima Abraham, your business consultant and coach. I help people, entrepreneurs, gain clarity. I help them start and scale highly profitable businesses. So if you have interest in business, in career, you want to take the lead in the marketplace and in the workplace, I am your plug for all solutions. I give you premium business solutions that will help you take the lead in your business or in your career. All right, I want to say thank you for being a part of today's program, and I want to call on you to sponsor this program. All right, you sponsor is a mutually beneficial thing. You sponsor the program, we also promote your brand. We tell the world about your brand. And guess what? This station beams into Abuja, into Nasarawa State and neighboring states, Benue State and some other neighboring states around this area. Okay, you'll be amazed how far your business can go by the publicity and the coverage that we give to it on this program. So God bless you. Do have a lovely month ahead of you. Do have a lovely year. The rest part of the year may be lovely and filled with all surprises and blessings from heaven above. Thank you and God bless you. Bye for now. Aqualata.